Jeremiah Buffalo on behalf of Mr. Love, who is seated to my right.
All right, and have you had a chance to review the updated PSI?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Additions or corrections today?
Yes, Your Honor. We would add that, correct, Mr. Love has completed the assessment. There was a hiccup with them not releasing it due to his inability to pay. We have very recently since forwarded that to the probation department. In that assessment were no requirements for any sort of counseling or anything like that he would have failed to do. And he has made payments on his fines and costs as well since the issuing of that PSI, Your Honor. I believe there's only approximately $70. $40 that are remaining. Your Honor, we would ask for a very brief adjournment to allow for those things to catch up with Mr. Love's file and potentially have him successfully complete his delay of sentence.
Well, I had the assessment dated March 25th of 2024. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
So completed after the PSI. And I don't know what you mean it doesn't make any recommendations. It says recommendation are related to individual and group counseling related to emotional regulation, skill development, interpersonal skill interactions, problem solving skills, vocational and aptitudes, career planning, exploration assessment, as well as financial literacy. That doesn't sound like no recommendation to me.
I missed that, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Love, you don't have to make a statement today. Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, sir. So
Go ahead and stand up.
Yes, so I was unaware that I had to follow anything when I talked to the assessment people. They were.
Did you read this assessment?
I actually asked for mines to send it to me, and they told me that I wasn't allowed to receive it. That only my probation officer can have it. And when I did the assessment, they never told me, hey, you have to do these things, you know. And I called, I went up there twice, and they just said, congratulations and good luck, basically.
Mr. Love, can I ask you, what did you do that I asked you to do during this last year? Did you get a job?
Yes, sir.
When?
I got a job just recently. I was working at, well, I mean, more than just recently. I worked a few months before that. I worked at McDonald's. I worked with a couple staffing agencies. Your Honor, it's been very hard for me to grab a job with this felony. I know that you want me to hold on to a job, and by nature, that's how I am. That's what I was doing before this even happened. But because of the nature of the felony on my record, I keep getting denied jobs. So only thing that I'm even getting denied jobs in staffing agencies, but I've held on to a couple jobs. Right now, I'm with a staffing agency, but laid off because it was only a 2-week employment for a line that they had to catch up on, and then they laid me off. And I've been waiting and waiting because that's all I really want to do, Your Honor. I just want to get this passed so I can start working and get my life back.
If I may, Your Honor, is the court in possession of the email from the probation officer downstate, Mr. Secor, that indicates that he has that Mr. Love has had employment on and off?
No,
again, it was fairly recently that the email was received and forwarded to your probation department, and like this morning recently, Your Honor.
Well, I got the pre-sentence report, and I got the assessment that makes recommendations. If there's an email you want me to read, somebody better give it to me.
I don't have the hard copy here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rich, Mr. Juliet, any recommendations for the people?
Your Honor, I would ask that the delay be revoked, and probation be discharged unsuccessful, 6 months in jail. I would note for the court that back when he was sentenced on the delay, the court waived a number of costs. So the fact that he hasn't completed his financial obligations is concerning. And in his allocution, I guess he did say that he's had jobs, but they've been on and off. So that's concerning that he can't keep employment, not so much that he can't get employment. So I guess I would ask that the delay be revoked and count one enter.
All right, well, Mr. Love, you're here today after a 1-year delay of sentence for a felony crime of resisting or assaulting, obstructing police. I gave you a lot of consideration a year ago and didn't ask you to do a whole lot. And you did even less than I asked. You know, you didn't maintain employment, and the excuses you're giving me here today are pretty weak. There's a lot of people with worse records than you that are able to maintain work. And also, I cut your fines down about as low as I possibly could. In fact, I did, the lowest I could legally assess. And you didn't pay them in a year. And these were doable. These were doable if you were picking up cans. Plus, you were supposed to get an assessment. You don't do that until like a couple weeks ago. And then you're here today telling me, and I don't have to do anything with it, but I'm reading a bunch of stuff that you have to do to address the issues that brought you before the court. And you should have done those is a year ago. That's why we put you on a delay for a year, so that you can do this on the front end and go to counseling and get in a better spot. Not so you can come once you find out you're in trouble and then you go and get one. That is not how that works on you. I can't possibly find that you have successfully completed this delay. So, Mr. Love, you have not successfully completed the delay, so we do have to sentence you on the underlying offense. The felony conviction for resisting, obstructing police will enter. The guidelines are 0 to 9 months. And I'm going to order that you serve 3 months in the Sheboygan County Jail, give you credit for 3 days previously. That's within the guidelines. And if you want to appeal, you have to file an application with the Court of Appeals. If you want a lawyer, you have to ask within 42 days. Any amounts that are unpaid will remain due and owing on the judgments. Good luck to you, Mr. Lowe.
No.
I cut the sentence even in half what was recommended. Mr. Love, I've done all I can and will do for you right this instant. Or you're going to go for longer. If you want to go for longer, then keep it up. Right now. Exit my courtroom, sir.
We're gonna go through that door, okay?
All right, next we've got people being marked.
All right, this is 23-1476, the state of Michigan versus Kevin Kowalczyk.
Morning, Your Honor. James Guzicki on behalf of Mr. Kowalczyk, who's present on Zoom. Your Honor, he's requesting a new attorney.
All right, Mr. Kowalczyk, tell me your name.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Kevin Thomas Kowalczyk, 1234 or 1233-1993 or 31. My bad.
You have a jury trial set for 2 weeks, for 2 weeks. Mr. Guzicki has been representing you. Why is it you're seeking a new attorney?
Your Honor, because he's not doing what I asked him to do for me. I asked him to ask you or whatever needs to be said or whatever needs to be done. I have really, I have concerns about this. I mean, I don't feel this is fair. I had this tether on my leg and I'm going through everything I'm going through. And I also feel like I'm being harassed by Taylor, and I could just go on and on and on that we could go for months and months and talk, but I don't have time to waste on your hand, and you don't have time to sit here and waste, but I got voicemails with my phone number, dates of times that would come through my phone of people calling my phone, threatening me they're going to kill me. I got stacks and stacks of police reports from where she's came by my house threatening me.
All right, sir, I can't hear all of that though right now. There's not a trial set in front of me. I mean, those sound like things that you could present at trial if they're appropriate. An attorney would know better than I at this point. I don't know any of that, and I'm impartial. I'm not supposed to know all of that until all the parties are present and there's a trial or a plea taking place. But there's a charge against you for domestic violence. It's set for a jury trial in 2 weeks. Now, Mr. Gazicki's been representing you so far along. I don't understand what the material breakdown is. I
So
mean,
I no longer want him. I need to figure out how I can get a legal aid lawyer to represent for me.
well,
I've
you
already-
are entitled through this court. I mean, you have a constitutional right
Plus,
to counsel. But Mr. Gazicki is our house counsel. There's another attorney that could be appointed to represent you for trial going forward. But
Your Honor,
well, you don't get to, sir, if you pay for your lawyer, you can go through as many as you want. But if you don't like, I mean, I'm not gonna just continue appointing different attorneys because you don't like what they have to say. I mean, that's.
It's
So
not that
how
you
are
don't
you
like
going to get another attorney? I have another attorney in the
I
building
want-
that could be
I've been trying to contact free legal aid and they said that they will represent me. I just need, what did she say, babe?
it. She said that you had to get a hold of the court to let them know that you needed a new lawyer.
Did you hear my girlfriend by any chance?
No, and I know, I want to hear what you are telling me.
They said that that you had to get a hold of the courts and the courts had to notify them that you wanted a new legal aid lawyer.
All right, I don't know what you said. So listen, if you
I
want
had-
a 1 week adjournment, we can come back next Wednesday and you can come in with your new attorney from legal aid.
Plus, ma'am, my other concern is I wanted to know how I want to bond this over the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice of Frank.
This is a misdemeanor. That doesn't happen. Your attorney probably advised you of that. This is not a felony.
He
It's a
never told me
misdemeanor.
that. He never told me that,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
well, you can't bind over a misdemeanor. This is the
I
court of
have before. I have
jurisdiction.
before.
Well, you're not. This is a misdemeanor, 93-day misdemeanor. This is the court of jurisdiction. Third Circuit cases are 2 years and up.
I was told it was 14 months in prison.
Sir, this is a
And
single
ma'am,
count.
and where is Miss Sarah McCall? How come she's not on the video? How come she's not in court? Ain't she supposed to be in
Who
court?
are you talking? No, Mr. Kowalczyk, you need to chill. Calm down.
You know,
She's present.
I'm calm.
No,
I'm
I
calm, ma'am.
said
If you want,
I'm
you could take the
talking.
tether
I'm
off my
talking.
leg and you could
You
send
want
me
to hold you
14
in
months in
contempt of
prison.
court?
I have no further to speak. You're
$200. Mr. Kowalczyk, you are held in direct contempt of court. You owe this court $200 fine. You want to keep going? You're not going to talk over me in this courtroom.
But don't I have the right to speak?
Sir, no, you have the right to remain silent.
Okay,
And
okay,
if I were
okay,
you, I would exercise it.
okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. I apologize.
Is she- All right.
Life in
So
prison.
you
I don't
want
care.
do you want a 1 week adjournment so that you can try and retain an attorney?
I mean, is there a way I don't know how to do nothing, ma'am. I don't know how to go about getting a lawyer set up.
Well, sir, you listen
And
to
I
me.
feel it's a
You
conference of
no,
interest.
listen to me. Listen to me.
But I can't speak.
You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one. The court has appointed Mr. Gazicki to represent you.
Correct.
You're indicating now that you want to go to legal aid and you want to get the advice of the legal aid attorney to see if they'll represent you on this matter. And you have a right to do so. So I will give you a 1 week adjournment so that you can retain counsel. This is set for a jury trial in a week. In a week and a few days.
Ma'am, I don't even care. I'm just gonna go with it with the flow. We'll just do it how it goes and let this dude think he's gonna do the job for me
No,
like he
all
said.
right. I'll see you back in
Can I
1 week.
represent
We'll
myself?
readdress this in 1 week. You're to be back here next next Wednesday our city docket? You're to be back here next Wednesday at 9 a.m. and you can give me an update on your legal aid attorney at that time. And the matter's adjourned until that day.
How to do it. I can't smoke.